Alright, so I'm gonna try to make this as brief as I possibly can, but I will definitely say, with regards to this specific immunity challenge, in all of my years of playing Skype orgs, ever since iSurvivor Macedonia back in 2014, this is the absolute most stressed that I've ever been when it comes to immunity results. Like, holy fucking shit. So much has happened in the last 24 hours that is just blows me the fuck away. I mean, I've already posted a little bit of what's been happening. I know that even though HLC is on the tribe and it seems like she would be the easy vote, I know that it is not that simple, that Ida, Alex, and Drew would have wanted to use HLC as a shield to go after me. Like, the writing was crystal clear, and I knew that we had to must win in order for me to survive another round. And there was a lot of shit that's happened that did not need to happen, because earlier, before I went to sleep, our tribe was doing fantastic. We were holding up. We were getting a lot of the points for the tribe. And not to mention that, like, we were in a moment where we would have been able to attack either the Outlaws or either Sundance. Like, there was no particular reason that our tribe should have been targeted for a long period of time, but of course Heather and Ida had to open their fucking mouths. Granted, there was a particular question about a cheating scandal, and yes, it was something that needed to be looked into. Other cast members brought it up, and it needed to be addressed, and I felt the same way to that if it was in fact a legitimate dishonest move that was on Cassidy's part with regards to the question of deleting posts that they might have actually had in order to prevent people from being in posting jail. So, because of that fiasco that the whole game just blew up, I'm thinking to myself, there's a good chance that this season's gonna be over because of all of this going on. But in the end, it goes through, and however, we still had a lot of members of Outlaw and Cassidy, in addition to Sundance, going after our tribe, and it was us versus Sundance. And oh my goodness, did they post? No, it wasn't anything. Okay, so literally in like the last 2 hours, it seemed like there was absolutely no possible shot that our tribe would actually pull off a third place win. I was thinking there's almost no chance that we have to go to tribal council, but on the flip side, we pretty much had to take, as long as we was not statistically out, then we still had a shot. Very last two posts were actually not in the last two. There was like, we had to miss one, but no more than one. And it got to the final two posts. Haley got not the whiskey, I think it's the gun, but I don't remember what weapon it was. Regardless, it was Haley that got it. So we needed these last two in order to have somewhat of a chance. If any of the other tribes got it, we were screwed, and our tribe is going to tribal council. And I happened to manage to get both. And based off of our tribe making sure that everyone's posts were deleted, there was no additional posts that would give any type of penalties, Sundance would have had the lead, and we would have been going to tribal even with those last two posts. But there were some penalties that Sundance has gotten, and right now Sandy is double checking all the math, double checking just to make sure that there's someone that got a score that should not have gotten a score because they're in posting jail or something along the lines of that. But right now, it looks like in this posting challenge, it's a fucking tie between us and Sundance. And honestly, like, oh my goodness, I'm like freaking the fuck out. Like, we absolutely, whatever tiebreaker is in place, and I'm sure there is going to be a tiebreaker that we have to partake in, because Sandy did not put in any posts of what would happen if there is a tie that's involved. Like, for 24 hours, with all the way the scores that could have been done, there was no foreseen circumstance that a tie would have happened, ever. And it fucking did. And we were like at the very bottom. We had absolutely no chance of winning if we missed one more. And so we're currently waiting to see what the tiebreaker is. And I'm hoping that we pull this off. And I survive another round. Even if it means having to deal with a lot of damage control of the things that we had to do. A big mistake that I made on my part, thinking that we were going to be going to tribal council and I need to do what I can to save my ass because it's definitely going to be between me and HLC, and I need to convince Drew, Alex, and Ida that I am a much better competitor than HLC is, and that they will be ridiculous to choose to vote out me instead of Heather. And to gain a little bit of extra trust to Ida, while it's probably going to be blowing up in my face if we end up winning this challenge, is I told Ida that Sharonica is my target. I really didn't want to do that, but I felt like at the point where my back was against the wall, I'm on extreme thin ice at the moment. I need to do whatever I can to save my ass this round. And if I need to give up information that could be damaging to my game to someone that is probably my number one enemy in this game, it's what I need to do to gain some trust as much as I can. So I had to tell Ida, and it was probably a big mistake on my part, and I'm probably going to be kicking myself in the face if it ends up biting me in the ass. But if at this rate, I had to give her, let her know, this is who my target is, but based off of, I didn't tell her that I absolutely know that this is the case, but I pretty much said that based off of what other people had mentioned and based off of process of elimination, if I have Sharonica, Sharonica has me. So if I'm voted out, that means Sharonica has a chance at an advantage. And Sharonica and Ida knows that Sharana and Enid are on very bad terms with one another, and Ida wants Sharonica gone. So if I had to use that in order to solidify myself at least another round, then so be it. And that's if we're going to tribal. But this is absolutely fucking crazy. Like, holy fucking shit. Oh my goodness. This could potentially be my last video confessional, because if we do lose this tribal council, I'm gonna be pushing to have this tonight, because there's no way I want to wait 24 fucking hours after a long work day tomorrow to have to work on scrambling. Like, I need to have this done now. I need to have this tribal. I need to push at tribal if we have to go. That this is the reason why I should stay and why Heather Lee Cameron has to go. While I have nothing against HLC personally, I wanted to play with her at least once in this entire game, and I still want to. And I wish she is someone that I wish I was able to keep in this game and work something out. But first of all, Ida's immune this round for being sheriff. And second of all, Heather and Ida are probably attached like this. So my only other option was to essentially find that crack and go to Drew and to Alex. But because we can't vote out Ida, the only other option is Heather, and even then, that is the most obvious choice because Heather is a liability in this fucking game, and I am a much better competitor for this tribe than Heather will be, and I really hope this tribe sees this based off of not having to go to any more tribal councils, and they don't see it as trying to get my ass out of this game because they think it's better for their game, when HLC would be 10 times worse if they kept her in this game. All right, let's see what happens.